Greetings from New York City. I'm Phil and we're running the bridges. This is a video series where we visit all the bridges in New York City that you can run across. The big, the small, the old, the new, the world famous icons, and the ones you've never even heard of. So today we are continuing our series of the bridges of the Wards Island, Randall's Island Park area, park complex. And we are visiting the Little Hellgate Bridge, Little Hellgate Footbridge at the Little Hellgate Salt Marsh. And this is just a little footbridge, and I have to give you a little bit of history of the Wards Island and Randall's Island in order to make this make sense. Wards Island and Randall's Island are both in the middle of the water at the confluence of the East River, the Harlem River, and Long Island Sound, at the point where Manhattan, the Bronx, and Queens are in the same area. So this is like in between. And that's why the big bridge up here is called the Triborough Bridge, because that links all three bridges. We're not doing that bridge in this video, but Wards Island and Randall's Island, which sit here, were originally, of course, two separate islands, separated by this little body of water called Little Hellgate, as opposed to Hellgate, which separates Wards Island from Queens. And we'll get to that in another video as well. But this is Little Hellgate. And now the Triborough Bridge was built between 1929 to 1936 for vehicles to go between the three boroughs. And they each have pedestrian walkways as well. We'll get to those. But then when it was opened in 1936, 1929 to 1936 it was built. But soon after the bridge was opened in 1936, they started filling in the Little Hellgate with construction debris from various projects. And by the late 1960s, the two islands were joined and were basically one land mass. They still retain their names, Wards Island and Randall's Island, according to which they previously were. The entire area is a park called Randall's Island Park. But you still have the Wards Island section and the Randall's Island section. Randall's Island is probably the bigger area. Has a lot of has Icon Stadium, has a lot of ball fields. But in any case, there is a little bit of water, a little bit of the remnant of that Little Hellgate that remains, and it was. I mean, you know, you can imagine back in the day, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, they just dumped all this construction debris in the water, filled it in, called it a day. Not too great for the environment. So by the 2000s, it was decided to kind of restore a section of this area where the water is as a salt marsh. And so they dredged out some of the toxic landfill, put in some clean sand, got rid of some of the invasive plant species and planted more native plant species. So we'll get a glimpse of that. But also, just on a little side note, from infrastructure point of view, if you walk or run, of course we're running, from Randall's Island to Wards Island or vice versa, you can use basically Central Road, and that's just all on land. But of course, when the Little Hellgate went through there used to be a bridge there as well. And that was built with the original Triborough Bridge in 1936. And so that when the landfill made that bridge obsolete, it eventually deteriorated. They eventually tore it down. They only tore it down in like the mid-90s, and I don't think I've seen it because I've lived in New York since 1994, and I was just not much of a runner back in those early days. So I don't think I have seen that with my own eyes, although I've been running for most of that time that I've been here, and I've seen a lot of changes. But in any case, I don't believe I've seen that old Little Hellgate Bridge. But in any case, this footbridge we're about to cross is the only bridge that crosses any remnant of the Little Hellgate. But and there, it's nice because they do have some signage here. Uh, so okay, so we are here, and this is Central Road. The the bridge, the road bridge used to be here. This is the rail. This is the railroad line, which has its own area. But so we are here. You can see there's a little bit of a marsh, and Icon Stadium. Icon Stadium, very prestigious professional track. Well, it's right over there. Oh, there you go, Icon Stadium. So you can see that's where we are in relation uh, to Icon Stadium. We're basically on the west side of Randall's Island right now, and just kind of show you. So there's a little bit of the waterway right there, and we'll just go on and go across. But you can also see they have some nice signage about the restoration of the salt marsh there, so you understand. And this was done, and it was finally opened, I believe, 2009. And so you have this nice boardwalk to run on or walk on. And there are times now it's closed, but this is a walkway that goes like through some of the wetlands down there. Sometimes it's open. I'm not sure when they open that or not. But and then if you continuing on towards Island, there's along the west side, along the west shoreline, they did include also some like replanting of native species and pollinators and so forth. So this is kind of what the salt marsh looks like, restored to a more natural habitat. Very nice. And there's more signage along the way. All right. And so now we are at the bridge itself. Just a simple, they made a like steel arch there, but just a simple bridge that goes over. Oh, and you can see like across the way. I forget what building that is in Manhattan, on the Manhattan side, but that's a very cool building. And that's at about 116th Street is where we are in relation to Manhattan, because you see that big center over there. That's like a big box store at 116th Street. So now we are on the bridge itself, and it looks like the tide is up because it's pretty. The waters are pretty full. This is looking off to the west, and you can see up there, that's the viaduct for the Triborough Bridge where the cars are going. So that's when the cars going between one bridge to another. And now we are down on Ward's Island, and the whole Randall's Island Park, Randall's Island, Ward's Island, great for running. Run the perimeter. There's lots of recreational activities, ball fields, and great pathways. This is a pathway that goes up towards the Central Road, and this is a pathway. This is a pathway that leads to the West Shore, which is a very nice run, and you can go around the fields that way. It's a great place to run. I highly recommend it, and you can connect here to this little footbridge. It goes over the Little Hellgate between Randall's Island and Ward's Island. So that's all we have for today. We have 3 more bridges left, so we are going to next be doing the footbridge or the foot pathways over the Triborough Bridge. So now the 3 legs of the Triborough Bridge, we have that left. So we're done with the footbridges that are not part of the Triborough Bridge. And so now we're going to be going to the Triborough Bridge, 3 big ones. All right. But thank you for watching. I hope to see you out here running. You really should come out here to Randall's Island, Ward's Island, do some running. and we'll see which bridge the wind takes us to next time. All right, have a good one.